This is The Wire for 2300 Zulu, August 18th, 2025. Press agency's routine. Information cutoff is 2200. Bottom line up front. Cargo vessel explodes near Baltimore Harbor. Illegal immigrant charged for Florida traffic accident that killed 3. Diplomatic efforts continue regarding Ukraine war peace deal. Beginning with international events. Around the world this afternoon, Starlink experienced another global outage, with services being down for all users around the world for about 15 minutes. This marks the second time this month that a major outage of the Starlink system has been reported. No cause for the outage has been provided. On the home front, in Maryland this afternoon, a large explosion was reported on board a cargo vessel that was transiting outbound from Baltimore, bound for Mauritius. The merchant vessel W. Sapphire experienced an explosion in one of her forward cargo holds shortly after leaving port. Her current position remains east of Bodkin Creek, and multiple tugboats and firefighting vessels remain on scene to keep her under control. Analysts comment. As this is a developing situation, there's no further information on what caused the blast or the fate of the crew. In Washington, D.C. this afternoon, President Zelensky returned to the White House, continuing diplomatic efforts to achieve peace in Ukraine. Analysts comment. Regarding the potential for peace, the situation remains tenuous. Following the negotiations with Putin on Friday, Russia's position appears to be largely the same as when the war started. Russia wants the Donetsk and also the freezing of front lines where they are right now on all fronts. Ukraine's position is equally hardline, with Zelensky also reiterating Ukraine's position of ceding zero terrain in any prospective peace deal. In Utah, a shooting was reported at a residence in Tremonton yesterday, which resulted in 2 police officers being killed and 1 other wounded. Officers initially responded to this address due to multiple 911 hang-ups, and upon arrival, a barricaded shooter engaged them from within the house. Analysts comment. What led to this shooting is unclear, but 911 hang-ups are frequently utilized by individuals seeking to take their own life by the actions of the police or by those seeking to ambush authorities. In this case, the latter seems to have been the result, which turned into a protracted small arms engagement. Multiple pre-made incendiary devices were recovered from the residence after the shooting, indicating that this was a planned ambush of some kind. In Florida, vehicular homicide charges have been filed against Harjinder Singh for his role in the death of 3 people on the Florida Turnpike last week. Singh was attempting to conduct an illegal U-turn on the interstate, which resulted in him positioning his semi-truck completely perpendicular to the road, completely blocking all lanes of traffic. 3 people traveling in a minivan were unable to stop in time, colliding with the semi's trailer, resulting in their deaths. Analyst comments for this wire. The case involving the crash in Florida has gained nationwide notoriety for 2 main reasons. Firstly, the in-cabin video showing the crash was published immediately, which not only shows the exceptionally graphic nature of the crash, but also the lack of any sort of remorse from the driver after the crash. The social reaction to this video has resulted in more focus on this case, which leads to the second reason for the attention. This case gets worse the more one digs for details. After the incident, Singh was revealed to have been an illegal immigrant from India who crossed over the southern U.S. border in 2018. Singh was allowed to get a driver's license in California, as this state allows illegals to get a license through the AB 60 program. From there, he was able to get his CDL license in the same state, despite federal law banning illegals from obtaining CDLs. As a reminder, Singh was already in the United States illegally, so he's already a criminal right up front. This might not seem to be important, but when he arrived in 2018, H-1B visas were being handed out like candy. Anyone in India had free rein to come to the United States, especially when it comes to industries like the trucking industry. This begs the question, if it was, and still is, so incredibly easy for Indians to come to the United States legally, why did Singh go through the hassle and the danger of sneaking under the fence illegally? Right now it's just a hunch, but there may be other reasons as to why Mr. Singh did not want his name run through federal databases upon entry into the United States. More importantly than the criminal negligence of one illegal is realizing how systemic this problem is. Singh was not joyriding around. He was working for a company which has a name, business license, and mailing address, White Hawk Carriers. While Singh himself has been arrested and charged, no one at this company has been arrested for allowing an illegal immigrant to work for them in violation of labor laws. In fact, Florida's official statements regarding this crash made no mention of the company he was working for. Observers only found out which company it was after reviewing the post-accident videos and seeing the logo and the DOT number painted on the door. When it comes to companies that sport a DOT identification number, a wealth of information is available online via several databases, such as the Safety Measurement System, which paint a clear picture. For instance, out of the 68 times this company's trucks were inspected on the highway in 2023, 36 of those inspections resulted in violations. So far this year, this company has been cited for 19 hours of service violations. As if that was not serious enough, a closer look at the company's ownership is even more illuminating. Whitehawk Carriers Incorporated is a company registered in California. The Secretary of State's database confirms this company is run by one Navneet Kaur. The initial investigation points to this person's name very likely being used for obfuscation. It's very common for shady businesses to be registered in a spouse's name or in the name of a family member if the person who's actually running the company has legal trouble or is in the United States illegally. Running this name through the other businesses registered in the same name turns out a whole host of other companies ranging from tax preparation companies and dry cleaners to other trucking companies, the initial partial list of which is as follows: Nav & Transport, GoBind Trucking, Nav Enterprises, America One Logistics Company, and American Auto and E-Solutions. This list is incomplete as when searching the databases for associates of these companies, the links to other businesses are nearly endless. Each one of these companies is registered to a different mailing address, and when each of those addresses is cross-referenced to find other businesses using that same address, potentially tens of thousands of businesses are linked together in some way, either by owner name or mailing address. Most disturbingly, Kaur, or whoever is actually running the companies, appears to be engaging in the timeless tradition of simply changing business names when one of their trucking companies is banned from the road. For instance, there are around half a dozen trucking company LLCs that Kaur had previously registered in California. When cross-referenced with the DOT's safety databases, the picture becomes more clear. Whenever one trucking company gets too many violations and eventually gets banned from operating in the United States, they simply fold that LLC up, register a new one, and transfer the employees and trucks to the new LLC name. Various permitting hoops are jumped through, and a new DOT identification number is issued for the new carrier, meaning that the same exact people get a fresh start with zero repercussions for previous safety violations. In this case, Kaur registered a suspiciously similar company by the name of White Star Transport Incorporated, which had its operating authority involuntarily revoked in 2015. Almost immediately after White Star Transport Inc. folded, Whitehawk Carriers Inc., the company involved in the crash, was registered and granted authority to operate within the United States. On Tuesday, the day of the fatal crash, the insurance policy for Whitehawk Carriers was canceled. This could mean that the cycle will very likely continue as this LLC is rolled up and a new company created when the situation cools down. This concludes The Wire for 2300 Zulu, August 18th, 2025.